Greetings, Soul Tribe. I'd like to share some of these thoughts with you while I got them fresh on my mind. Now, I haven't memorized everything that I've just studied yet. But I have gotten a few things locked in, like some ideas, so to speak, kind of what these things are telling me here. So, lately, I have been trying to complete my whole spiritual Noah Corp parable. But the spiritual Noah Corp parable, trying to complete that led me to some more ideas, some more stronger ideas, because I'm going to be using the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, to make up for the leadership thereof in this here parable. So that means the information regarding the Tree of Life, the 10 sapphire rots, they are going to be of commissioned officers. Idle commissioned officers is what I call it. Remember, this is a spiritual army. This is a spiritual Marine Corps. This is a spiritual Coast Guard. This is a spiritual Air Force. That's what this is, right? So that means a bunch of ideas and a bunch of things drawn from everywhere in the world, placed into a group of ideas, right? That are going to march, so to speak, and destroy what is plagiarizing your brains. In other words, I'm going to use a whole lot of ideas and just send them into the world to make you all extremely smarter and more aware and oppression proof. Yeah, my spiritual army is going to make you oppression proof. You want to know why? Because oppressors come to oppress, but if you got something in your head defending you from their oppression, what are they going to oppress? Nothing. Or they're going to try to get past your defenses, your spiritual rampart, and plagiarize you anyways, because that's what oppressors do. They only exist to ruin your minds and ruin your lives and ruin everything that you want to do in your day. So, spiritual army. This is my spiritual Noah Corp, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administrative Corporation or Services. You follow me? That's what it stands for, NOAA. And I was coming across an idea to make the leadership for it, the idle leadership for the commission officers, because when you look at the information regarding the Noah Corp, it turns out they only have what you would label and describe as commissioned officers in their ranks. They don't have any other kind of thing in their ranks. They only got commissioned officers, you see. And it's because of that, I had to keep the parable short and simple. But here's the interesting thing I want to tell you about, though, that I came across in the studies. The 10 sapphire rots, right? The 10 sapphire rots within this here Kabbalah, Tree of Life, the information. Now, I don't have all the names memorized, but I'm just going to tell you what I've gathered so far and what it can be labeled and described as. There is a trinity and or a trimurti, those top three, right? Those top three ones. Now, see, Kether is source, where Kether is what labels and describes, according to the Kabbalah, what source is, right? Insof, the word Insof, or the name or the title Insof, means infinite source or infinite space. Infinite source or infinite space. That's what the word Insof means. And Insof, or the Kether, is what created Bina and I believe Hakuma, or I believe that's how you pronounce it. I still haven't got the names memorized. I am studying this strongly. Why? Why am I studying this and why am I reading up on these things? Because once the religions go, the world wakes up way faster, or they'll at least begin to. There is no God but you. Do I sound like an atheist, yet not one at the same time? Yeah, I know. This is what it's required. It's required to move, or it's required to speak to you with a mind of somewhat hypocrisy, yet not simultaneously, in order for you to get the picture here. You follow what I'm saying? So it's going to sound like I don't believe in God, but do believe in God at the same time, at all times, at every moment I speak to you. Don't even mean for that to happen, but in order to get the truth out here, that's what it's going to sound like. A lot of hypocrisy, but not hypocrisy, simultaneously. You follow what I'm saying? So moving forward, right? Take this out. The Kabbalah comes from the Jewish religion as well, the Jewish texts. All the stories are connecting And with this here Kabbalah information, what I'm getting ready to do with it for the Spiritual Noah Corp, and as well as the Spiritual Noah Corp parable, as well as all of the other oceanic like ranks within the military thereof. So like the ensigns, or the lower admiral upper halves, or the admiral, rear admiral lower halves, and rear admiral upper halves, and the fleet admirals and things of that nature. These ideas are going to be these commission officer ranks. The ideas are going to be of the commission officer ranks. You follow what I'm saying? And these ideas are going to be giving orders to the energy in which the ideas represents, as like I call it the Enlightenment infantry. The Enlightenment infantry, meaning the ideas which have the ranks, are going to be giving orders to the energy in which the idea is going to enlighten your ignorant spots on thereof, if that makes sense to you. Honestly, I don't even have to use the military at all. I don't have to use the U.S. military. I could just tell you all of these ideas without using the military. But why am I using the military? This is my own style of distraction. It's my own style of distraction. Because all I'm doing is taking some time to piece together all of the ideas that I have thus far, and I just grab something from your world to structure it a little bit more funnier, I guess. You know, kind of like I did with the Tekken parables and the other video game parables and the nerd parables and whatnot. To just keep telling you the same story over and over again. Soul supremacy. You follow what I'm saying? Once the religious beliefs crack open, that's going to be the biggest step forward humanity takes in eons. You'll get what I mean soon. But here, back to the Kabbalah, there was Kether, which is the Ensof. Then the Ensof is what created, according to the stories, Bina and Hakuma. Hakuma is like upper masculine energy, and Bina is like the upper feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? According to the stories, when you study the Kabbalah's information, study the words on the sacred geometric symbol. Study what the words means. They're going to sweat. So what? Study what the words mean on the sacred geometric symbol. Study what the words mean there, because the words, they all mean something. They're there for a reason. You know. It's like the image of the sacred geometric symbol is structured around those words there. You follow what I'm saying? The meanings of those words. That's what the whole tree is structured around from the looks of it. But see, here's what I'm getting at ultimately though. You see, those top three are like the parents of the bottom seven. You dig what I'm saying? Think about the number for a second. Trinity, 3. 7, chakra system. Trinity, 3, 7, chakra system. You follow what I'm saying? Like when you look at the Shikia, or what was the bottom one called again? It was the one way on the bottom. It was Shikia, something like that. That has a lot of comparisons and contrastments to the root chakras information. You follow what I'm saying? And then when you look at the one right above the Shikia, one of whatever you, I gotta memorize the names. I want to respect you. I really do. I just want to love and respect all things in reality. You follow me? That's why I'm trying to get the names right and trying to memorize them properly, and so I can talk to you about what I'm talking about properly. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward here. Then there's one right above the Shikia one that it has a lot of information that relates to the sacral chakras information thereof. You follow what I'm saying? Like the bottom 7 have a lot of relations in their comparisons to the chakras. Now you would probably think that the Kether or the Keter has a connection to the crown chakra as well, which it does. Don't forget, it's all in one place. All in one place. Yet simultaneously, it describes many ways that this one place created us, or this many ways and how this one here space brought us into it. You follow what I'm saying? Those 7 chakras and those top 3 sapphires, sapphire rots. That's what they're called, sapphire rots. 10 sapphire rots. It seems like they label and describe the Trinity and the 7 chakras thereof, or the Father, Son, Holy Spirit that gave birth to us with the 7 chakras in us, if that makes sense to you. That's what it seems like it describes. That's just my opinion thus far. Sapphire rot. I want to talk about that real quick before I cut the video off, because I didn't really want to make this too much about anything. I just want to tell you some things, some ideas, what I've been pondering around with. I'm going to make the Kabbalah's information, all of my oceanic leadership within the military force, my Soul King's military parable. And then I also wanted to give you some insight on what I think it may also represent The top 3 being with birth, this bottom 7, but the top 3 being the Trinity and or the Trimurti, because let's not forget it's talking about all of it. You follow me? And then the 7 being the chakra system. 10 sapphire rots. Then I want to tell you about one more thing, then I'll close the video out. The 3 things that the light shines through to become things. The 3 things in which the light shines through to become things. 10 sapphire rots, seraphim rot. This rots. Doesn't last long. Everything we make rots because God didn't make it. If God didn't make it, it's gonna rot. But God made us. We're not supposed to be rotting, but due to a thing telling us to make things that'll make us rot, we do so. We're supposed to be everlasting, as within, so throughout. Moving forward, sapphire rot, that's what they're called. The word sapphire rot is a Jewish term that means emanations. And the word emanations labels and describes how something from a source derives from it. A thing which derives from a source. When you look up the word and define it, that's what it talks about, you see. Emanations. So that means the 10 emanations derives from a source. Radioactive things deriving from a radioactive source, so to speak. Unto another source, or unto another place, to become something else. Soul in the flesh. Soul in the flesh. Soul in the flesh. God in the flesh. Love in the flesh. Love is air, literally, by definition. No, seriously, love is air. When you look at the definition of the word love, it is literally oxygen. Yeah, we breathe air. KRS-One voice. We breathe consciousness. Consciousness is love. Love is consciousness. Consciousness is air. Air is consciousness. Spirit. Spirare, meaning breathe, breath, life, spirit. Prana. Moving forward here. So, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, 10 sapphire rots. I want to tell you more about what I think about this in this regard. 10 sapphire rots. What the tree of life is ultimately telling us, looking at the definition of the 10 sapphire rots, analyzing what each of the words mean and why they're placed where they are placed, and then also simply what I wish to do with the military parables, no big deal there, just also to simultaneously bringing you awareness of what the oppressive body has over us currently. You follow what I'm saying? I've come to this conclusion. All it tells us is what I've said before many times over, and I'll say it again. How the source energy moves towards and or to, within, and throughout us all, unto our environment, within our physical reality. You follow what I'm saying? That's all it simply tells us. It just simply tells us how source energy moves to, within, and throughout us all, unto our environment and our physical reality. That's all it tells us, the Kabbalah. Why is this important, though? Or why would this be something to note? Before I tell you about what the light shines through, the 3 things the light shines through to become things. Why would this be an important thing to note? Simple. All of these religious beliefs, what they tell you to do is to sit down, do nothing, and wait for Insof to save you. When Insof is busy being you. How do you do so many meditations and hums and sit there and do nothing? Am I against meditation? No, I'm not. I'm not really against anything you all respect. I just am simultaneously. But then it's like, here's my perspective on being against it. But then I also have a perspective on being with it at the same time. I choose neither one. I just choose what Insof wants, or the source, or the I, or the King of all kings, literally wants me to do. That's just what I choose to do. But due to me doing this and just doing what the King of all kings wants me to do, or the God of all gods wants me to do. I just do what the God of all gods wants me to do. That's all I do. You follow me? Do I belong to the God of all gods? I'm just a piece of it, as you are, as everything in reality is. Get it together. Come on. So I'm just doing what the God of all gods wants me to do. You follow me? And the God of all gods is granting me the ability of discernment, meaning I can see from a bad point of view and a good one. My bad point of view is the one in which is against you all. But my good point of view is the one that's just with you, period. My good point of view, the one that's just with you completely and utterly and entirely unconditionally, that's the power that derives from source mixed with the balance, if that makes sense to you. And then you have the bad point of view, that's just straight physical reality, period. Stop ruining my spirit. Stop putting bad things into my spirit. Stop it. Get some help, right? As y'all use from the Michael Jordan meme, did you know nothing can help these people? The only thing that could help them is my God. And my God can't get to them right now due to their seal. Moving forward. Here. So, I was getting at this, right? Bad perspective, good perspective. 10 sapphire rots, emanations. We, as all things, are the God of all gods. My perspective on meditation, bad and good, right? That's what I want to share with you. Good. Once you are able to sit down and realize what reality is doing to you, this so-called matrix. We technically live in a natural matrix. If you look at the logic that I'm getting ready to talk about with the three things the light shines through, we technically live in a natural matrix. Meditation. Once you sit down in a world like this and you begin to hum and realize that nothing is attacking you, you'll get a chance to see who the real God is. Just like that. But then what you gonna do? Because now that you know the real God is not some whoosh through the skies and talk to you all day. It's just a power, energy thereof in you, giving you your abilities to be you. Once you realize these things, any kind of source of all moral authority outside of the source of all moral authorities, moral authority, you should be able to recognize as false, fake, lies, and deception. That's what meditation can give you on the good side, in my opinion. But then on the bad side, reality. The physical world that we live in. Meditation is just sit down, do nothing, and watch us burn your village to the ground. Let's not forget, all of your religions started 5,000 years ago. They just came out 5,000 years ago. Every religion on this planet just came out 5,000 years ago. Why do you think that is? To trick you and to brainwash you into sitting there doing nothing as we set your village on fire. That's what all the religions exist for, from what I am seeing in the physical here. Why are Christians doing nothing about the people getting destroyed in life? Why are Muslims barely doing anything? Brother Rizza Islam is doing quite a lot. I look forward to getting my hands on some of that intellectual power supplement that he has. That looks like something I would really enjoy trying right there. I would enjoy that from the looks of it. And he has all of these videos up talking about how he's grabbing it from the source. Rizza Islam is going to be an excellent farmer. He's talking about how he's grabbing it from the source to place these elements inside of the capsules thereof. And these capsules, plastic, are going to be used to help distribute the powers of God's energy into thine mind space to amplify it. I look forward to trying it someday. Moving forward. Then again, I don't know all the details about the caplets, do I? No, I don't. Look forward to trying it someday. I look forward to doing more research on it. I look forward to it. Intellectual power. Rizza Islam, his supplements that he's selling. Am I trying to promote it? No. I just want to try it. Because I just want to be able to support all of my people globally, worldwide. Know this real quick before I go on. If I make it, everybody is. Period. Moving forward. So, told you my opinion on the 10 sapphire rots. That's how you pronounce it properly. Sapphire rots. Seraphim rotting. Source seraphim to the flesh that rots. The word means emanations. Emanations, what derives from source, by definition. And then I had an opinion on how meditation, due to the definition of these words here, I had an opinion on how meditation can be good and bad in a world like this. That's what I mean. In a world like this, meditation can be something good or bad. And I gathered that opinion from the definition of emanation, and I just wanted to conclude it into my idea. I hope my video isn't messed up. It probably is. They have honestly moved the audio from my words multiple times over. My phone is more clear of space. I am clearing space out of my phone, and it is still messing up slightly. Why is it doing this? I have no clue, but I am not repeating these words again, so I'm going to post this video, and if it's messed up, that's just what it is. Moving forward. So, emanations led me to the meditation theory, or the meditation, given both of my perspectives that I'm getting from Insof or God source to tell you all about. And now I want to tell you about this. One last thing. Here's what I'm gathering right now. There's 3 things in which the light shines through to become things in our physical reality. This is my opinion right here, my opinion. If my logic sounds crazy, I mean, ain't nobody else really talking about it the way it needs to be talked about, or possibly getting to the area of figuring it out faster. So I'm just going to throw some opinions out here. Here's what I think right here. So I personally believe light shines through one of 3 things to become things. It either shines through space, what can be labeled and described as the still waters, and or what can be labeled and described as the remnant of her seed, which is essentially a cloud of negative energy, or fire and lightning. Gas cloud of fire and lightning, whatever you want to call it, electron energy. But I believe, me personally, light shines through one of these 3 things, and it can become the sun if it shines through space, meaning it just becomes a star or light. It shines through the still waters and becomes what we call planets. You follow what I'm saying? That's what we call planets if the light shines through the still waters. And then, I'm getting somewhere with this too. And then the last thing is shines through the remnant of her seed, and it becomes what can be labeled and described as people or life forms. I believe the planet is a life form too, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But at any rate, light shines through one of those 3 things to become a sun, life forms, or a life form, or the planet. You follow me? The suns, planets, and life forms. Suns, planets, and people. Sun, planet, people. Sun, planet, people. Sun, planet, people, huh? So here. And if you think about it logically too, the planet itself would also have its own set of 7 chakra system. It would have its own 7 chakra system set if it were a person. Because here's the thing, from what I believe personally, if the light from source shone through the still waters, or if it shone through the remnant of her seed, it would have became one of us. But instead, it shone through the still water, so it became a planet. This is what I personally believe. You don't have to buy that. You follow me? Your free will is magnificent. Recognize it. But at any rate, my personal, maybe wacky theory here. You know, space still waters are the remnant. And due to this idea right here, is leading me to a conclusion about how possibly the Kabbalah, the top 3 things, gave birth to the 7 bottom. You follow what I'm saying? It's just leading me to an idea of how it could have went down or how it could have happened. This is just giving me an idea in that field, you know? So it's like, yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Father being the source that shines through, and then the light, I want to say it moves through the Hakuma, or it becomes the Hakuma, shines through the Bina. And the Bina is, in this case, the remnant of her seed then. If this is the case, because the left side of the Kabbalah represents divine femininity and the right side of the Kabbalah represents divine masculinity. Just thought I'd throw it out there real quick too. It's always about some kind of relationship thing, isn't it? It's a lot of it. It's a lot of relationship talking. Oh yeah, I'm working like nonstop to get my money up since I have no other option. I mean, I wouldn't need money if this world wasn't here, but so you were all ready to do something about that little situation or scenario, it's just going to be here, right? But at any rate, so the Bina would be the remnant of her seed in this case, and then after the Hakuma's light that he got from the source to shine through her, zigzag, zigzag, like Yashmal was talking about. Yashmal is like the antithesis of Yaqub. Yashmal is the antithesis of Yaqub. Zigzag. And the light goes through the remnant of her seed Bina to create the other 7 on the bottom there. Just an idea to throw out there, you know. Tree of life. But it's also too zigzagged all around. Like you'll see when you look at it, it's last note, it's about, I want to say 4 down the middle, but then you got that 5, that 5th one that says the Ats right there, but it's 4 down the middle and it's 3 to each side. You follow me? 4, 10 in total. 3, 3, 6, 4, 10. You see? But that's all I wanted to share with you real quick. My thoughts on the Kabbalah. Shalom, shalom, shalom. The more you learn, the more you rise. I'm just going to incorporate all of these ideas into a military, so to speak, that is just going to bomb the literal crap out of this foul country plagiarizing thy mind heart spaces currently. And from the ashes of this world, we shall build a better one. Apocalypse voice from the X-Men. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.